from Juju Bean Farms, and today I'm going to show you the most simple way to make sourdough crackers. If you're like me and you have a lot of sourdough discard, this will be a great way to use up your discard quickly. You can also double this recipe. I made these crackers 2 days ago and they were gone in 1 day. These are very good, very simple, very easy. If you've been around here very long, you know that I love to do things the easy way. So the first thing you want to do is turn your oven on to 320. I'm going to do that now. And then you want to get a big pan and put some parchment paper on that. All you're going to need for this recipe is 3 ingredients. It's so simple. You need a cup of discard. And if you do not know how to make sourdough discard or anything about sourdough, there are a couple of videos back. I may even can try to link the video up in the corner for you, but I teach you exactly how to get sourdough started, and so you'll have discard for your crackers. And some people just have sourdough just for the discard so they can make things with the discard. Sourdough is very good for your gut, and I love having sourdough discard on hand for recipes. The other thing you will need is 1/3 cup of butter. You're gonna mix your discard and your butter up together. Very simple. Until it's all mixed. It takes a couple of seconds to get this to combine together. I probably should have doubled this recipe today, but just for this video and sake of time, I just figured I would just make it again the way I made it last time. I did feed this to my kids and did not tell them what was in it, and they thought that these were cheddar crackers. So you can see that's all mixed in together, the butter and the sourdough starter. And now we're just going to put this directly on this cookie sheet. No oil or anything is required. And I'm just going to use this spatula like this, or whatever you have on hand, to spread this out in a really thin, even layer on this cookie sheet. And you want this pretty thin and uniform as you can get it, so that your crackers, you know, so you won't have crackers, some of them that are thick and some of them that are thin. You want it to be as uniform as possible. Obviously, if you're doubling this recipe, you'll want to use 2 cookie sheets for this, unless you like a real thick cracker. But if you want them very thin and very crispy, you're gonna want to spread them out as thin as possible on 1 cookie sheet. So that looks really good. Don't want to waste any. Put that on there, and I'll try to show this to you. So it's in a really thin layer on this cookie sheet, and the 3rd ingredient, or whatever you want to put on here, it can be multiple ingredients, I guess, for this part, but for me, I'm just going to use everything bagel seasoning. This is where you can get very creative. You can make these, you can put whatever seasoning you want to on these, whatever you like. You can make them spicy. I don't know about making them sweet. I don't know if that would taste good, but because of the sourness and the sourdough discard, but you could just put salt on them and leave it at that. You can put whatever you want on these at this point. You can put like salt and sesame seeds, but I'm just going to use the everything bagel. It has salt in it. It has everything in it to make these taste good. And this is what I did the last time when I made these crackers. I just put everything bagel on them. and a pretty generous amount because we like this seasoning a lot. I use this seasoning as often as I can. Okay, after you get a really good seasoning on your crackers, you're gonna wanna put them in the oven. My oven is not up to temperature quite yet, but when it is, I'm gonna put these in at 320 and I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes. After they've been in for 10 minutes, I'm gonna take them out and then I'm gonna use a pizza cutter to cut the crackers into the shape that I want them. And this is, again, another time where you can be creative. You can cut your crackers as big as you want, as little as you want. I cut mine into really little, like 1 inch by 1 inch little crackers so that they would go further, because I knew my kids would, they love like Cheez-Its crackers, and I feel like this is very similar for them to possibly replace Cheez-It crackers. So, and again, it uses up a whole cup of discard, so uses that up pretty quickly. So I'm gonna let my oven get up to temperature. I'm gonna put these in, set a timer for 10 minutes, and then I'll come back with you all on camera and I will show you what it looks like, and we will get these cut into little cracker squares. All right, our crackers have been in the oven for 10 minutes, and we're gonna take them out. And what we're going to do is we're going to score them, and then we're going to put them back in the oven. I think the easiest way to do this, because of the edges of my pan, I'm just gonna scoot this off like that, and I'm going to just cut these off of here to make it easier. And like I said, this is the point in which you can make the crackers as big or as little as you want them. You don't want to miss this step, because if you don't take these out and score your crackers or cut your crackers now, you're not going to be able to cut them after they're cooked all the way. You're just going to have a big, huge cracker. So if you like to have a cracker that you just break up by hand, that's fine. But I like to cut mine so that they're easier to store and put away, and I can make them exactly the size that I want them. So that's all you do after the timer goes off, and I'm going to really carefully put this back on here. And then we're going to keep the oven at 320, and we're going to put these back in for an hour. And this is where they're going to really slowly cook for an hour and crisp up and become the good crunchy crackers. Now, you can keep your crackers in as long as you want past the hour to get the desired crunchiness of cracker that you want. I did last time find that these center ones weren't as crispy as the outside ones, but the dough does shrink down and give air around each cracker. So this time I might leave them a little bit longer than an hour, but we'll see. Okay, I can smell the crackers all over the house. It smells so good in here. They're ready. I'm gonna take them out. And as you can see, they brown up so much during the cooking. And then, like I showed you, they also kind of shrink so that they, have space between them. They're all very crispy. They feel very crispy. They look very good, and I'm gonna let them sit and cool for about 30 minutes or so. But they are finished, and that's how easy it was. I dropped my hot mat, but that's how easy it is to make these crackers. Very simple, and it would be very easy to double this recipe, like I said. So I will probably do that next time. But like I said, for sake of the video, I just wanted to do a single batch. But for my family, I could definitely double this and have crackers that will last longer than one day. So they're hot. They're very crispy. They taste like cheddar crackers, and they have a little bit of a zing to them from the sourdough. But like I said, my kids thought they were cheddar cheese crackers. So that's the crackers. Simple, easy. They just slide right off of this paper. I let them cool until they're all the way cooled down. Now this is not something that, you know, some things you can bake and then if they sit out, they'll crisp up more. If they're not crisp in the oven, they're not gonna crisp up in the cooling process. I learned that from the last time I made them. My center ones weren't crisped up and I thought, well, they'll sit here and crisp up as they cool, but they will not. So you wanna leave them in the oven until they're crispy all the way through, and even in the center ones. But I'll let these cool all the way down so that they're all the way cool, and I'll put them in either a Ziploc bag. You can put them in a glass jar. You just want to keep them in an airtight container. So thanks for cooking with me today, and I hope you guys make these and enjoy them as much as we do, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.